Hello everyone, thank you for joining me today. Welcome to my channel. Yes, you are highly welcome. Okay, so in this month of August, I'll be taking a journey into purpose. Yes, and this is going to come in a 4-part message. So today I'll be talking about the reality of purpose and how purpose was for me. And then I'll go on to talk about the killers of purpose fulfillment, the fertilizers of purpose fulfillment, and the joy. The reward of living out who God wants you to be. So without wasting much time, let me get right into today's topic. The reality of purpose and how purpose was for me. I believe you have heard about this purpose thing. You have a purpose, serve your purpose, and all. I want to bring this message to you today again. Purpose is real. I don't know if you have taken out time to sit down and to talk to yourself and ask yourself questions. What is it about my life? What is it that God would have me do? Am I just here to live, to eat, to sleep, to wake up, to go to school? Is that all about my life? There's something about sitting down with yourself, and asking yourself some questions. Yes. So I want to tell you that purpose is real. It is not just a concept that people put together and are putting out there. There's something about your life. There's something that God wants your life to achieve. There's something that God wants you to leave behind. There's something that God wants you to impact. Okay, and it is unique to you. But if we are not intentional to fulfill God's plan for our life, if we just feel, well, this thing, is it really real? I can just live my life the way I want. God can actually replace us. Yes, God can find somebody else to do the work. But that shouldn't be us. That shouldn't be the case for us. It should be that the reason why we were made, the reason why we were here, why we are put here on earth is fulfilled. I believe that for you to listen to this video, you have something about purpose. There's something in you that wants to fulfill God's purpose for your life. And I just believe that you will. It is very possible. And as you stick with me, as we look into this thing together, what are the killers of purpose? What will make me not serve my purpose? What are those things that would make me serve purpose better? I believe that God will help us. And you and I, we would live out God's plan and purpose for our life. Now, let me talk about how purpose was for me. Growing up, when I was much younger, in my teens, I used to hear about purpose. People talked about purpose, serving your purpose and all that. And at some point, I became obsessed. Like, okay, what is it about my life? This purpose thing, me too, I want to fulfill purpose. And I had people around me who I can say were doing something meaningful with their lives. And so because of that, I was challenged. And, I just felt, no, I want to fulfill purpose. I want to be what God wants me to be. At some point, that was no longer healthy, because I was not really concerned about my relationship with God. I was not really concerned about the God of the purpose. I was now more concerned about just the purpose. I just want to be out there. I just want to be doing something. And I'm so grateful to God that at that season of my life, He did not just open up my purpose to me. Because guess what? I would have run with it, and I would have run without God. So for me, there was the desire. Yes, there was the desire. So I want to say that the desire is very important. You have to be intentional. You have to have that desire to want to live out why you are here. So desire is very important. So after that season of my life, around that season of my life, I began to learn that, okay, this thing is not just about purpose. It's not just about doing something. There is a God behind this. There is a God who made you first before giving you a purpose. So at that point, I began to grow little by little in my relationship with God. Okay, let me know this God. Because when I looked at the life of Moses, I saw how that at some point in his journey, when he was leading the children of Israel out of the land of Egypt, God said, you can go on. My presence will be with you, but I won't be there. And Moses was like, God, if you are not going with us, we are not going. So for me, I saw a man who was not just interested in, let me just go, let me just do this thing. He wanted God. So I began to grow in my relationship with God, to say, okay, God, I want to know you. beyond doing something, I want to know you. Because you see, this journey of purpose, you need God. There are times where it may not really make sense. There are times where as you are doing a lot of things, pride may want to come in. It is that your relationship with God that will keep you humble. It is that your walk with God, that God will be able to say, hey, this one is wrong. This one is not correct. Don't go this way. Don't do like this. So God. So number one, the desire is also important. The desire is important. You want to live out your purpose. You want to serve your purpose. Secondly is God. Please. Yes, doing something is good. But I want to tell you, have God by your side. That even if God tells you, for now, just sit down with me, you are still okay. So your security and confidence is not in what you do. It is in your relationship with God. So the question is, if you are out there and you are doing something already, if God was to take it from you and God just tells you, for 1 month, just stay with me, just learn at my feet, how would you feel? Would you become incomplete? Would you become insecure? Because you have tied your identity and your security in what you are doing and not in God. So God is very, very important. Okay, let's continue in the journey. So at some point, I finished my secondary school and I got into remedial sciences in the University of Jos. I came in very naive, like I did not know a lot of things. So I joined the Fellowship of Christian Remedial Students, and I joined, and then at some point I was appointed as the vice president of the fellowship. I did not know how I was going to serve in that capacity, because hey, vice president, from where to where? But I was given that appointment and I accepted the responsibility. It was from that place of service I began to discover something about myself. It was from that place of service I began to discover that, okay, there is a teaching grace here. I would teach and people would come back to me and say, Martha, I was blessed. I love how you teach. I love how you explain. I know. So there is something about accepting responsibility when it comes to serving purpose. You can't say you want to serve purpose. You want to be who God wants you to be, and you are just dodging responsibility. They give you something to do, you say no. I understand the place of saying no. It's not everything you should accept. It's not everything you should put your head, because you may not have commitment for several things. But there are some responsibility that you should accept. You should learn to accept responsibility, because in the place of that, while you are in that work, while you are doing that, you will discover things about yourself. So yes, accepting responsibility helped me. So in that period of time, I began to learn things about myself. I began to see what I could do, So yeah, accept responsibility, okay? So number 2 is, number 3. So the first one is desire. Secondly is God. God, your relationship with God is key. He's the giver of the purpose, so know him first. Number 3 is accepting responsibility. Okay, so number 4 is I spotted my pain. So after remedial sciences, I went back home, just somewhere. Something happened. My mom belonged to this women community or association, and one of the days she went for wake up. Yes. So one of the women had lost her daughter. What was the reason? Because her daughter died. Her daughter died while she was trying to take out her second. She was trying to take out her second pregnancy. Yes. So she had done that before. That was outside wedlock. She's 21 years old. She had done that before. It worked out fine. It was successful. And then she was doing it for the second time. And in that process, she lost her life. She died. When my mom shared that story with me, sorry about the background noise. So when my mom shared that story with me, I was pained. I was like, why? She's 21. She shouldn't die like this. I was pained. There's just something in me that was like, something is wrong somewhere. This is not correct. And then, that one passed. Another thing happened again. I got to know of a friend, not so close, but I can call her a friend, right? who also got pregnant outside wedlock, and at some point had to stop school, had to, things changed. And when I got to find out about it, I was really pained. In fact, there was one that happened. I went back to my room and I wept. There's a difference between cry and wept. So I wept. I felt so bad. I felt like, no, this shouldn't be happening. There's something I should do about this. It was like, I don't know if I should say it was my fault, but I felt, no, this should not happen. This should not happen. So I spotted that pain. In fact, it was after that I wrote my first book, The Distinct Lady. Because I just wanted to put the message out there. I just wanted young ladies to hear something different that can help them, that can keep them. So spotting your pain is very important. It's very important. So there's something that you have noticed and you just feel, Kai, this thing is wrong. You just feel so sad about it. Please, I want you to pay attention to it. It was at that season of my life, I knew that, okay, there's something God will have me do in the women's ministry. There's something God will have me do in the lives of young ladies. There's something God will have me do in the life of young people, right? So spotting your pain is very, very important. Okay, don't neglect your pain. Don't just feel bad about it and walk away. Sit down with it and ask yourself, what is it about this pain? Is there something God wants me to do about it? Okay? All right. So the last one is service. Oh, service. Service has helped me a lot in discovering my purpose and serving purpose. Service is so important. See, don't miss out on opportunities to serve. Serve in your local church. Serve in your class. Serve wherever God has placed you. Service is so important. Service will teach you a lot. As you serve, you are working with people. You understand human relationship. Because in serving your purpose, you will deal with humans. And you need that understanding. In serving, you would learn responsibility. You will learn character. You will learn patience. You will learn courage. You will learn confidence. No, there's just a lot to service that you don't want to miss out on. So please serve. Don't be in a place and you just go in and come out. You don't contribute anything. In service, I've discovered more about myself. In service, I have learned, I have grown. Okay, so that's all we can take for today. So in summary, purpose is real. There's something about your life. There's something God wants to accomplish with your life, right? And some of the things that helped me in discovering my purpose was desire. Yeah, in fact, I didn't mention, desire began to help me look out for books, listen to messages on purpose, and all that. So desire, God, your relationship with God is key. Also, I talked about spotting your pain. Yeah, before then, I talked about accepting responsibility. So desire, God, accepting responsibility, spotting your pain, and service. Very important. Okay, you can also share your story with me in the comment section about how you discovered your purpose, right? We don't know everything yet about what God wants us to do, but there's something we know. So you can go ahead and share how you discovered your purpose for you in the comment section so that somebody can learn. Thank you so much for joining me today. Thank you for following through to the end of this video. If this has blessed you, please like, subscribe so that you can always get notification when I drop a new video. So next week, I'm going to be talking about the killers of purpose fulfillment. All right, until then, bye for now. God bless you.